Glad I didn't watch this movie in theaters. I wanted to, but something came up and I was unable to. So I am truly thankful I was able to watch it at home, because I feel like if I watched it in theaters, it wouldn't be the price of admission, honestly. Let me explain why. Before I explain why, let me give you the story. So basically, if you saw the trailer, you get the gist of it. So let me add to it. Don't worry, it's no spoilers in this, just the gist of the story. There is a stuntman that falls in love with a co-worker on set, and he's top of his game, being the best stuntman in the world. He kind of follows a certain celebrity and does his stunts for him through other movies. Well, at one particular movie, there was a accident. He fell about 3-4 stories high onto the floor, almost breaking his back. And when he did that, he kind of ghosted the love interest he had on a set, and also he just had to recover. And he turned his back on the studios. He didn't want to do it anymore. And he basically just does valet for people, different locations. And eventually there was an agent reach out to him and say, hey, you helped my client all these time, and we want you to work on this particular movie. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And then she's, well, your love interest, I forgot what her name is, said she's the director now. And he's like, oh, really? She wants me to come over to do it? He said, yes. She said, yes. That leads him to go to the movie to do to help with the stunts. This is new. It's his first time being back. He's kind of nervous. And found out that the girl, the director, his love interest, didn't want him there. It was a shock because the agent kind of tricked him. The main motivation of the agent was for her to find her missing celebrity. Somehow he's missing and she can't find him, and he is the head honcho of the main star of the movie, so she needs help to find him. So because he's a stuntman for this celebrity, she figured the stuntman will be able to find him because he knows him pretty well. I'll just go by that. That's the storyline, give or take. There's a couple things here and there that happens. You realize what the plot of it, what caused everything to happen. But that's the gist of it. Hopefully that made sense. So let's get into my opinion about this movie. Before I get there, I just want to say I'm not trying to talk bad about the director, writer, the actors or actresses in here. They done a good job. I mean, the acting was good. I like a couple of the shots. The movie, it's not a serious movie, and it's not like a love story. It's kind of a mixture of both. The movie leans into how silly it is and being, a movie about a movie business kind of thing. It leans into it. There's a couple good shots where I like what the director did. There's one, they had a split screen where both characters were talking to each other over the phone, and how they was talking and how they mirrored each other in different scenes was really well done. And it made me like the scene a lot, because sometimes when they're just talking about their feelings and talking about this and that, it kind of falls flat. But when you have something engaging in the scene, it helps capture the audience's attention, and it did for me. Because I watch so much movies and shows, I really respect and like when directors take a chance or do something a little bit different. It means a lot of how they tell a story on the big screen, right? With this story, give or take, it's okay. It's a mid. It really is. It's, to give you my review of it, it's not a convenience store kind of experience or a sit-down restaurant experience. It's a fast food restaurant experience. Just go through, drive through, get your fries and a milkshake and go on. I probably wouldn't revisit this show 5 years from now. It's it's a mid. It's a middle of the road kind of movie. The only reason I watch it because Ryan Gosling's in it. I really like him as an actor. I can't pronounce his last name. I do apologize. I butcher it. But he's the main reason, and he did all right. I like any movie he's in. I don't think I ever saw a bad movie he's in. He always shows up and does his best he can do. But the more I watched it, I realized why I didn't like this movie. Because it felt like a straight to DVD kind of movie. Now, they don't do that no more. I'm showing my age. It's straight to streaming services kind of movie. Straight to Netflix, straight to Max, straight to whatever streaming services. It felt like a Netflix movie. High budget, action packed, but no substance. But it went to theaters. But it didn't stay in theaters very long. It went straight to digital, right? And it felt, and this kind of, I'm gonna add my other stuff to this kind of review. This movie, I think, honestly too, there's a couple scenes, there's really good scenes. And there's some scenes that's just like filler. It's just fluff. There's nothing in there. It's just visuals, nothing else. Not ooh, ah. It's just like, okay, here we go. Okay, they're doing this. They're jumping here. One-liner, comedy parts of it, which is fine. But I had this thought. I think a lot of times they do certain scenes so they can cut it up and promote the scenes on TikTok, on Facebook Reels, on YouTube Shorts to promote the movie. And people go, oh, that's a cool scene. I'm going to watch that. And when they do, like, oh, that's it? Unfortunately, that is. I would say the last 15 minutes of the movie is good. The last 15. That's it. And that's, like I said, no disrespect towards the people who worked hard for this movie. The actors, the actresses, writers, production people, the stunt guys. It's no offense to them. But it was just, I think the reason I didn't care much for it was too long. And that's another thing about streaming services. They want these long movies so people will stay on the platform longer. We've learned that from Disney Plus. They make these long TV shows and there's nothing in there, but they want people to stay on their platform as long as possible to get the numbers up. I don't know if that's their intention on this movie, but they could have. I think this movie would be really better if it was an hour and 40 minutes. Shave off 20, 30 minutes of this. I think it would be very well. And don't get me wrong, I love long movies. I'm a Lord of the Rings kind of fan. Now, of course, compared to this Lord of the Rings, it's like apples to oranges, right? But for this, it's just like, I think it's just under 2 hours, in my humble opinion. But if you go beyond 2 hours, you have to keep the plot going. Don't have fillers. Don't have these moments where just run down the street and jumping off cars. I know he's a stunt person. I get that, understand that. I could totally understand that. But I just was like, honestly, if I was in theaters, which I was doing here, I was kind of like, God, I got another hour left. Because the first hour, there was nothing. In the first hour, there was nothing to write home about. Nothing. After the first hour, then you realize what's going on behind the scenes, what caused this, he did this, and she did this. That's when you realize, I guess, the hook, or, the oh my God, that's what happened. I can't believe that. That's basically what you realize. But honestly, like I said, I'm glad I didn't watch in theaters. Hollywood, I think they're making these movies for streaming. And I think the budget was $140 million. It's not $200 million. I mean, it's still a lot of money for a movie, but for what it was mid for me, middle of the road. And if somebody asked me if they should watch it, I would recommend it, I guess, to a certain point. I would say don't get your hopes up. Just kind of, it'd be a good movie to watch, if you're bored or you're on a flight to whatever and if they're for free, you can go ahead and watch it. It'd be a good 2 hours wasted. But that's just my personal opinion. And like I said, I'm not trying to hate on it, but I'm just being honest. And I because I was thinking about watching it again, right, to get more, to enjoy it more, to give more a better review of it. But after watching it the first time, I'm like, I really don't want to watch it again. I really don't, because that's the thing of my review of movies. I want to start watching movies or a show a couple times over to get a different flavor to it, to really give you a better review or understanding of it, to get my humble opinion. But also, too, I want to do my first experience of a movie and give you my authentic reaction. You know what I'm saying? Which, I don't know which one's best, the authentic action or it really in-depth breaking down scenes. I'm more authentic, just first time watching it kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But anywho, if you liked it, that's cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. I guess I maybe had a little bit higher expectations going in because of the trailer was pretty awesome. And I watched it. I'm like, okay, the first 30 minutes was good. Okay, it got a little bit of background of, okay, he and she and this and that. And then all of a sudden it just kind of lost its steam. And I think that's the reason that, I don't know, the pacing was good to a certain point. But I believe if they shaved it off from 20, 30 minutes, it probably been a little bit better. A little bit, cut just a little bit here and there. But that's just me. And I'm not a critic. I'm just a guy with a camera, basically. So, what do I know, right? But anywho, I think I'm done for this review. And hopefully you, if you disagree or liked it or didn't like it, let me know by a comment below. All right, other than that, I guess I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.